Weight loss is a $100 billion industry. Hundreds of books have been written on this subject and thousands of experts dishing out advice. What is left to be said on this topic, you might ask? Well, let's find out. Before we start this journey of weight loss, I want to ask you a question. Why do you want to lose weight? Is it to get someone's approval? Or is it to overcome some health issues? Or is it to train for some sports or outdoor activity? I'm not trying to judge, but knowing the reason, the motivation is important in selecting the right strategy. Once you're clear on the reason, the motivation for weight loss, the next thing to put some attention on is perception. Perception of our own body, the size and shape of our body, significantly influences our life. A negative perception can affect the state of our mind, the quality of our life, the morale, and so on and so forth. So I have one more question for you. Can you be okay with where you are right now with your weight? If you're not, you're going to be miserable. When you're miserable, you are desperate. When you're desperate, you might do indiscriminate things. And this is what the billion-dollar weight loss industry wants. They want people to be indiscriminate and try just about everything, regardless of how sustainable any of these measures are. So we don't want to go there. So striking this balance, being okay with where we are right now and taking steps to take care of the weight and take care of our health overall, that is the key. So the question is, why should you be okay with where you are right now? And the answer is very simple. You are more than your body. You are much more than your body. You are your intelligence, your creativity, your enthusiasm, your ability to help others, your virtues, all of them make you, you. So body is just one dimension. Therefore, it is perfectly possible to be okay with where we are with our body just now, right now. See, human body comes in many different sizes and shapes, as we all know. And I'll go one step further. Healthy human body can be in many different sizes and shapes. This is how we are made. Genetics plays a very important role here. So where is the place for guilt? So overcoming guilt is a very important first step in starting this process of weight loss. Once you have contemplated on these 2 points, the why part and the perception part, we are ready to discuss some strategies. I would like to propose a 3-stage strategy. The first stage is minimally disruptive to your routine. In other words, is easy to implement and is sustainable over the long term. And there are 4 things that you can do under the first stage. First, eat your meals at a fixed time every day, avoiding late dinners. Second, increase your water uptake. You should be drinking at least 1.5 liters every day. Third, get at least 7 hours of sleep every night and make sure you go to bed and wake up at about the same time every day. And lastly, start moving. Keep track of the number of steps, that's fine, but more importantly, keep track of the time you spent sitting down. And this will really give you a good idea where you are. So you have followed stage 1 for 1 month, then you're ready for stage 2. In stage 2, there's just one thing. Stop eating sugar. Only exception being fresh fruits. And no substitutes either, sugar substitutes. Often they are worse than sugar itself. Now, if you are in the habit of having sugary snacks, you can replace them with roasted nuts or popcorn. If you like, or if you are in the habit of drinking juices or soda, replace them with flavored water for a while until you get used to plain water. Now, if you think this is hard, I can assure you it's impossible. So this is a mind game. If you can get comfortable with this practice, after a couple of weeks, it gets easier, much easier actually. And if you can do this for a month, you're ready for stage 3. I recommend 2 things for stage 3. First, start with mild intermittent fasting. By that, I mean a 12-hour gap between dinner and next day breakfast. And every week, you can push that limit by about half hour, up to 14 hours. So over a course of 4 weeks, you go from 12-hour intermittent fasting to 14 hours intermittent fasting. Anything more than that may not be sustainable. The second part is make some modest adjustments to your meal composition. What do I mean by that? Start eating more vegetables, more beans and lentils, and cut back on grains, whether it's the breads, rice, or any other grains. And it is not really useful to go out and seek, modern or new grains like quinoa. If you like your bread or rice, you have them in moderation and try to balance between the proteins and the carb. Increasing the protein is really important in weight loss. In addition to adjustments in diet, I'm going to recommend a couple of yoga exercises to aid in the weight loss. So let's check out the yoga poses. One of the best yogic exercises for weight loss is this breathing technique called Kapalbhati. Let me demonstrate this for you. In Kapalbhati, the emphasis is on exhalation, forceful exhale, and inhalation is effortless. We do this to the count of 1 and 2. With 1 you inhale, with 2 you forcefully exhale like this. So let me do this to the count of 1 and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and relax. You can do 3 sets with about 20 to 25 repetitions per round. The only contraindication is people with uncontrolled blood pressure or hypertension should avoid this. Others can practice 3 rounds. The next exercise is a simple side stretch that anyone can do. Just breathing in, lift up your left arm all the way up, fingertips to the ceiling, and slowly bring the right forearm down onto the floor. And now, as you breathe out, slowly bend to the side using your left arm until the left arm is parallel to the floor. You can look up towards the left hand and feel the stretch on the left side and a gentle compression on the right side. And this compression aids in digestion. It puts some little pressure on the large intestines. And slowly come up. And now you switch. Right arm goes up, left forearm on the floor. You're bending towards the left. Nicely stretch the right arm. Right arm is parallel to the floor. Keep breathing. Feel the stretch on the right side this time and compression on the left side. Stay here for 5 long breaths and then slowly come up. You can do this 5 sets, either sitting down or standing up. Another yogic exercise that is very beneficial is the lunge. To start with, you can sit on your heels like this and then bring the hands down on the mat. And using your toes, digging in the toes, pick up the knees and transition to the downward dog position, making sure it's about at least 4 feet to 5 feet distance between the hands and the feet. For the lunge, breathing in, and as you breathe out, bring the right foot forward between your hands. Left knee can come down. Left foot is flat. For those of you who have trouble bringing the foot forward in one step, you can do with multiple small steps like this. 1, 2, and 3. And go back with the right foot. Lunge with the left foot. Drop the right knee down, look up, and continue alternating. Right, come back, left, back, right, back, left, back, right, back, left, back, and slowly drop the knees. Sit down on your heels. Rest for a few seconds. So you've done all 3 stages and you get to a point you've lost some weight. Whatever weight you have achieved, that probably is your best sustainable weight over the long term. Now, not everyone is going to lose 30, 40, 50 pounds, right? And we don't know why. If we knew, we wouldn't have this $100 billion weight loss industry, right? So again, you have to be okay with where you have arrived at after all of these interventions. We need to value the discipline more than the outcome. So take pride in all the adjustments you have made and see where you started and where you are right now after these 3-4 different stages. And once again, remember, you are much more than your body. Until next time, see you then.